We've been talking about the election results all morning long, but what actually drove voters to the polls this year?
Now, we asked people across New York and New Jersey what issues matter to them most.
Women's rights, that's the main issue. Crime, New York City crime.
The economy is shot. The inflation is way too high.
We need peaceful life, and second, we need safety.
So those issues could result in a change of power in Congress. Joining us right now is Dr. Will DeVega. Doc, good morning. Thanks for joining us here this morning. So we're hearing about those issues there. Inflation, any ad you've watched over the last 2 months, it's been crime, crime, crime. But a lot of the exit polls said inflation, abortion, women's rights, those things were a little bit more on a higher priority than crime.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you look at the national landscape for a second, you can see that abortion was front and center. Whether it ended up leading or landing some of the victories that the Democratic Party wanted, it still was front and center in the mind of voters. You look at some of the propositions that were out there, they were all successful, even in places like Kentucky, right? I mean, that proposition was up by 7 points last I checked. So abortion and women's rights is a real issue in this election. And it also incentivized the base to come out. When you look at how many people actually decided to vote on the Democratic side, a side that is not necessarily known for mobilizing their vote, that is probably the reason why Democrats performed better than anticipated.
And, Will, you're from New Jersey. There's a hot race going on there. Could affect the balance of power between incumbent Democrat Tom Malinowski, Republican challenger Tom Kean Jr. Let's take a listen to what the candidate said overnight.
All the numbers are trending in the exact right direction. Listen, we've gone around this district, every single one of the 6 counties, taking our campaign directly to the voter, and we were talking to them about the issues they cared about. They were talking about inflation issue, and that was their concern, border security, energy independence. Those were the things that people were talking about, and we were listening. And so we are, all the numbers are going in the exact right direction.
Despite everything that has happened, despite I don't know, probably about $20 million that has been spent in the last 3 years, mostly in outside money, negative ads, trying to take this district back. There's absolutely no question that we would have been winning, without question, that original district. And even this district, with 30,000 additional Republican voters that were added last December, here we are still standing. It is too close to call.
And what do you think had the greatest impact on that race?
Yeah, it's, I think Malinowski is 100% right. It's the redistricting. Had that district had not been redrawn, he likely would be winning this race. There were an additional 19,000 Republican registered voters now put into that district, particularly coming out of Sussex County, which is a heavily red district. So I expect this to likely go Tom Kean Jr.'s way. But, the fact that it is close, it says a lot about the fact that right now it's something that the Malinowski campaign should be proud of. That said, I do expect Tom Kean Jr. to come out ahead.
Kean did have name recognition. Malinowski did have some scandals that had followed him over the last few years, so that I'm sure played a role in this as well, besides just the redistricting.
Right. Well, to a degree, right? Because in the same token, we can say Malinowski was the incumbent, and incumbents do tend to have a leg up. But you are 100% right. The inside trading or the failure to disclose and conflict of interest was an issue in the Malinowski campaign, and Tom Kean Jr. made a point to attack on those ads.
Any other New Jersey races stand out to you? I know Josh Gottheimer was kind of a runaway winner. Mikey Sherrill did very well in her campaign, even though she was on television quite a bit. You thought it was going to be a closer race.
Yeah, they all really had war coffins when it came to money and the spending. So Mikey Sherrill, Andy Kim, who was probably the second closest in terms of whether he was a likely winner or a leaning blue, they all won. And I don't really see anything else. Also on the red side, Van Drew, the New Jersey district itself or the New Jersey legislature looks pretty clear-cut to me, at least.
Astounding when you think about how much money was spent in these campaigns, not just in New Jersey, but across the country.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. When you look at, for example, Georgia right now, I think the last number I saw was $250 million being spent on that senatorial race. So $250 million, and that's likely to go to a runoff. So we're going to expect that amount to continue to go up, ultimately, for one senator.
Mary and I were discussing this earlier. I mean, if it goes to a runoff, which it looks like it's going going to, you're talking about another 3 to 4 weeks of more money being literally flooding into the state of Georgia for this campaign.
That's
because
right.
it might decide the balance of power in the Senate.
That's right. And at some point, the key question is, is it ultimately all worth it? And if you ask some people, they tell you, well, if it's the deciding vote, of course, and they would put more to it. But if you ask the average citizen, is it worth to put $500 million into one vote or one election? I don't know that they would say the same thing.
Well, based on what happens in Nevada, we'll see if they're actually going to need all that money in Georgia in the next couple of hours.
Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.